Hi guys, my name is Zainab Abdul Hamid and I'm here bringing to you effective study techniques. I'm presenting on behalf of Region Business School and the Minara Chamber of Commerce. So I hope today that no matter what you're studying, that you're going to find this presentation useful, and that if you have any questions, that you can still contact me via email if you need to know more. Let's get started. So before you do anything, you need to ensure that you have a vision, you have some goals, and you know what the outcomes need to be. So in terms of a vision, goals, and outcomes, you need to look at the long term. What is it that you're trying to achieve? Are you trying to achieve a bachelor's degree? Are you trying to achieve your matric certificate? Do you want to achieve a career path? Do you want to be a doctor, a teacher, a nurse? Do you want to, start your own business? Any of those things. Make sure that you plan in terms of, years and a year from now, 3 years from now, 5 years from now. Yes, we don't know what tomorrow holds, but planning is key, and planning is what's going to get you there. So the short-term objectives are your stepping stones, right? So you need to ask yourself, in terms of these short-term objectives, what is it that I need to put in order for me to get to the next point? Where do I need to go today in order for me to achieve my desired outcome? Then you have immediate outcomes. So immediate outcomes are really your task list for today, what you've put on your daily planner, what you know you need to achieve today in order to be able to achieve your short-term objectives or your long-term vision. So ask yourself these questions, note it down, and that's the only way you're going to know where you're headed and if you're going in the right direction. It's very key to know who you are, where you come from, what you want to achieve, and where you're going. So this is an example of an academic vision or an articulated pathway for higher education. So with Region Business School, we take people from a higher certificate level, which is a level 5, the first step in higher education, right until you reach your doctoral degree. So if you have an ambition to become a professor one day, join us at Region Business School, we'll take you there. So I just put down a few of the very useful techniques I've used in my personal learning journey, and some will work for you, others won't, but choose what fits you best and go with it. It's very important before the year has begun to start with a year planner, to put down in quarter 1, 2, 3, and 4 what you need to achieve. Even if you don't do it day by day, if you do it in each quarter, it's sufficient. For some people, you like more structure, then you'll do a weekly planner, a daily planner with time scheduling. That works for some and it doesn't work for others. I personally don't like a daily schedule. I prefer a list of tasks for the day, and I will work around the day to see how I best can achieve those objectives with the time that I have available. Another useful technique is journaling. Journaling is to record what you've done and what you plan to do further. So it's important against your year planner, week planner, daily planner to start recording what you're achieving along the way and what you want to still achieve. It's like a shopping list, for example. When you come back from shopping, you can say that, okay, I've already purchased the following items. I've still got the rest to achieve or purchase the next day. Peer review is another useful technique. So peer review is making use of your friends, your mentors, people around you. It could be in your family, household, to give you advice on whether you're doing something correctly or what are their thoughts and how would they approach a situation. Because remember, this is not for a specific type of learner. This could be across the board. So for example, if somebody's studying communication, you may want to do a presentation in front of your parents. You may want to do a presentation in front of your spouse and ask them for their feedback. That's peer review. You could also do an online virtual session with a group of friends and get their feedback before you go in for your actual assessment. So that is also part of peer review. Group sessions for exchange of information works very well if you have colleagues who are actively studying, who are actively wanting to achieve their goals. It's good to schedule weekly sessions with them so you kind of touch base. Okay, guys, this is what I achieved. Our deadline for an assignment is in 2 weeks from now. How's everyone doing? What did you find most useful? Which websites can I go to find the best research articles? What's key and current in this field of studies? You can learn and share so much just by meeting up with people. And remember, you don't have to do it in a physical space. You can do it online on a virtual space. And the last very useful technique, practice. Practice makes perfect. So if you're studying mathematics, accounting, statistics, remember, as much as you practice, the more you'll be familiar with certain theories that you can work on and obviously achieve better results in your examination or in your assessments. So practice, practice, practice. So back to the considerations of your learning experience, you need to know, what is it that you need? So for example, you've registered now. Do you have all the resources you require? Do you have an active internet connection? Today, that's very important. Most of us are studying online. Do you have the textbooks, whether it's online or physically? Do you have the study guides? Do you have the materials you require? Do you have the time? Do you have the finances? Ask yourself these very important questions before you set your goals as well. Then ask yourself, how am I going to pull this together? Does my plan make sense? Does it fit into my family life? Does it fit into my aspirations? So ask yourself these important questions and set the expectations correctly. So plan yourself according to your expectations. If your expectation is to achieve that long-term goal, then work accordingly. So with various institutions, schools, and whatnot, they have different modes of learning. Now we are very fortunate that a lot of the institutions have a fully online learning environment. With Regent Business School, we are fully online. All of our assessments are online, the delivery is online, communication is online. So as much as previously people would debate, so where's the human element in that? It's all online. As you can see me face to face, you'd be able to still interact with people face to face, but just online. There are also people that still want to go back to the very traditional way of sitting in class, and that's also fine. Sometimes that's the only way that works for you. Do whatever's best fit for you. Some of the very important skills that are required for you to study effectively is to be able to handle stress. What is stress management? Stress management is being able to know what brings you back to balance. What is it that causes your stress? You need to identify your triggers of stress. You need to identify what allows you to bring yourself back to a state of ease and calmness. And then time management. What is time management? Time management is to be able to plan your time well, to be able to identify what is a priority and what you don't actually need to do right now. So, for example, if you registered for 5 modules for the year, you're going to prioritize putting in a little extra effort in those areas which you are very unfamiliar or you have never done before. For example, you want to put in extra time in mathematics and practice a little bit more. With theory, you want to give yourself quick skimming. We're coming to that right now. So another useful skill is report writing and summarizing. And it goes very closely with skimming and quick reading and analytical and critical thinking. So if you're a master's level student or a PhD level student, you're going to have very good report writing and summarizing skills, because if you're going to be reading tons of research articles, firstly, you're going to have to do skimming and quick reading, pick out the core themes, the core findings. Then you've got to be very analytical and critical in terms of what the author has said. And then you're going to have to write them down in terms of abbreviations, summaries, themes, so that when you go back before you do your final piece, you'll have all the information required. And this is not just for a master's or a PhD level. If you are studying and making notes that you would like to quickly go through before exams, you need to understand that critical analytical thinking shouldn't be overseen. That's something you need to have. And how can you practice this? How can you gain How can you gain the skill? It's obviously from reading more and asking yourself more questions about what you've just read. Okay. So coming back to the skills required, there's interpersonal skills. What are interpersonal skills? Interpersonal skills is knowing how to communicate with others, how to approach others. So interpersonal skills, for example, if you're dealing with your mentors or your lecturers and facilitators, you don't want to be calling them up at 9 p.m. at night when you know you are infringing on their personal and family time. You would rather deal with them during normal working hours, or if you take the approach of having a conversation with them first about what's most suitable for them, and then don't be a bug on your peers as well. So in terms of interpersonal skills, you're not going to be the one chasing after the person who's taking all the notes. You're going to get together with your peers and share some of the duties to make studying much easier. So I kept this presentation very quick and very simple, and I hope that you've gained something from there, especially like these techniques of using a planner. We very often forget to plan, doing some journaling, peer review, group sessions, and practice. It's really as simple as that, and you'll find yourself achieving your outcomes and your objectives and your long-term vision far more easier if you stick to these few techniques. Thank you from Regent Business School and Minara Chamber of Commerce. If you have any questions and you want to contact me, I've left my email address for you. Have a good one.